that means there's a lot of shorts open and they're paying the longs. They're paying the longs. Every 8 hours they're paying them. Shabudan made limit order for TRVL today at 0.059. Well done. Finally got to add more TRVL. Thought I was never going to be able to add more at this price. I always feel that about TRVL. I always feel that I wonder if it's ever going to go down again, and it does. And then I think to myself, wow, this is a really good price. I bought some today as well at 5.9. It doesn't mean that I bought at 6.2 or 6.6 or 7 or 8 or whatever was a bad price. It just means that it gives people like me and you an opportunity to keep on accumulating at good prices, at low prices. It doesn't mean the price can't ever go down. The price can always go down. But I think TRVL is right now, what we're seeing at TRVL is a bit of a shakeout, you know. It's kind of, that's what it is. We're seeing that across the whole of the altcoin market. It's a little bit of a shakeout. So all of the weak hands, all of the people who aren't really in it for the long game, they just want to make a quick buck. They're the ones who are getting shaken out. And they're selling at lower prices. Okay. It's one thing to sell and rebalance your portfolio, but what you're getting now is people getting shaken out. Yeah. And when I'm looking at TRVL, yeah, again, it looks bearish, right? You can see it's starting to look really bearish. You can clearly see some sort of head and shoulders pattern forming. For me, this isn't what everyone thinks it is, because we haven't actually made a lower low here. We've held a higher low. I think when you want to see a head and shoulders pattern complete properly, what you want to see is you want to see a lower high, a lower low put here, and then the bounce would be the lower high, yeah, for continuation. That's kind of what you want to see. You want to see a lower low put here, and then people would trade into the lower high. They would sell into the lower high. That's how people would trade that, yeah. So when they see the low lows put there, they would automatically trade that lower high, and you'd get massive sell pressure to push the price down, and then you'd be looking at to complete that pattern. You'd basically be looking from the neckline. You'd be looking to go all the way back down to 2.2 cents. I think this is extremely unlikely. Extremely unlikely. Just simply because we haven't put in a lower low. So actually we're still in bullish market structure. We have to, even if we were to put in a lower low here, the chances are more likely that we would have more of a rounding top. And then if people were looking to sell that lower high, that's when people have an opportunity to sell to change market structure. It'd be more likely for that to happen than for this to just go down like that, because of what you're seeing as a head and shoulders pattern. I still think this is quite unlikely, just simply for many reasons actually. But the main reason is that I'm seeing quite a lot of selling here, and the price hasn't really dropped. I'm seeing quite a lot of absorption in the price. Yeah, so when I'm looking at the 4-hour time frame, I'm seeing quite a lot of absorption in the price as the price is coming down. You see all this volume? That's selling, but you have to remember that's also buying as well. So it'd be different if you had selling and the price was selling off like that. That would be very different. It'd be a very different story if that was happening, because that would be a massive sell-off. But I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing selling, but I'm also seeing buying. Yeah. So as the price is being sold into, it is coming down, but also I can see that it's being slowed down considerably. And so you're getting quite strong bullish divergences here. You see here on the CCI, we've already made a lower low here. the price is still higher. So there's bullish divergences. I'm not saying it can't go lower. I want to see us hold a higher low on this 4-hour time frame. At the moment it's holding. Yeah, I want to see that hold. If it doesn't hold, because at the moment what you have is you've got a higher high, higher low, higher high. I want to see this low hold as a higher low to go up. I want to see that. If it doesn't hold, okay, if for whatever reason we make a lower low here, it doesn't mean it's all of a sudden bearish again. We still have the daily level low here. That's still our higher low. Yeah. So as long as we don't go underneath that, we're still bullish as far as the daily time frame is concerned. All it means is that on the 4-hour time frame we've made a lower low, and to confirm a bearish change, you would now have to go up, put in a lower high, and then go all the way back down and take out that low. That would be a change, yeah, because at the moment we're still bullish, right? And what can easily happen is you put in a lower low here. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen. You can easily put in a lower low here, and the price could rally up, take out that high, and actually this pivot here wasn't your higher low. Actually, this was. Yeah, this was your higher low. Okay, so no one really knows what's happening. Yeah, I'm not like I can't really predict the future. I just know things that needs to happen to change. Yeah, and I can see change. Right now I can see quite a lot of absorption. I can see the prices being absorbed. It's not as bullish as it's bullish, but it's not like a flat correction. It's another deep correction. It's quite a deep correction. We've corrected 21%. Yeah, so we're still not in a situation where people are willing to buy and hold the price higher. They're trying to scale in. What I'm seeing here is a lot of scaling in. So as the price is descending, they're just kind of taking chunks out of the price and dollar cost averaging in as the price drops, and just kind of accumulating as the price descends, so they get a really good average into the descent. We're not there yet where people are desperate to buy this and are willing to buy it and hold the price at a certain level, so the price just can't get through a certain higher level and then eventually it breaks to the upside. We're not there yet. We're not in that kind of mindset. That's fine. I think that's coming. I don't know when, but I do know that that's coming in the future. And this week I met with Cynthia. She came to London. She won the award for entrepreneur of the year for the short stay vacation rental. This is this week. We went to a restaurant. It's me, Cynthia. She's the CEO of Dtravel. That's my brother and my sister-in-law. And we had a good update. We had a good chat. They haven't posted this image. I think they're going to post it. I don't know if they are. If they don't, I will, probably by the weekend, on my Twitter. And just catching up with Cynthia, I know there's a lot of good things coming. Yeah, I'm not allowed to say, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'll just tell you. I'm not actually allowed to say what's coming. But there's a lot of good things coming. They've already announced it, but they haven't given us the details. Yeah, so they haven't given us the details. They've already announced there's going to be some partnership with a major AI project, and some other things that are coming in the future. They've kind of made announcements, and also there's going to be a big release of the search engine once they fix some initial bugs. And also she was talking about the marketing and getting a bunch of crypto influencers involved, and also she's been talking about doing some kind of once everything is ready to get some kind of big fundraising from big angel funds and capital funds and venture funds, and that's going to just increase the profile of Dtravel and TRVL. All of a sudden there's going to be a really big explosion. And I think right now, for us small fish, it's just a good opportunity to just keep on accumulating at relatively speaking lower prices. Honestly, I'm not upset that we haven't gone up, because I'm desperately trying to complete a property sale, which is just taking its time because I live in the UK, and I'm looking, once it completes, I'm just going to really aggressively start buying. So for me, this is really cheap, and I just, until that happens, I'm kind of a little bit stuck because I'm basically buying as much as I can. Once that completes, I'm just going to absorb all of the selling, you know, because I'm extremely bullish on this project. I think we're going to go to all-time highs, and I think we'll probably overextend and head to $4 or $5 at the very least in the future. So I think it's just a really good opportunity for people to accumulate. Something I noticed on Bybit is that the point of control on Bybit has moved. Yeah, in the past, the point of control was lower down. You see this high volume node here. It was about 3.1 cents. And you can see now the point of control is now roughly about 6 cents. As long as the price is able to stay above 6 cents, doesn't have to stay above it in 15 minutes or in 2 hours or in even a day, but just on the higher time frame. As long as the price stays above the 6 cents, that's quite bullish what's just happened. Because what's happening is that people are buying at higher prices. That's what this means. A shift in the point of control from 3 to 6 means that now people are buying at 6 cents. Yeah, whereas before 3 cents was like the best buy. Now 6 cents is becoming the best buy as long as it holds. Yeah. Now I'm not expecting us to drop, but even if we drop, I wouldn't be surprised if we have a quick rejection from lower prices. I can't predict that. I can't tell you that that's not going to happen. I'm not expecting it, but I can't say it's not going to happen. But I do see that the point of control has moved, and I think that's quite bullish for that to happen. Generally speaking, I think having a lower point of control in the range lower is bullish. But for me, this tells me that the price has gone up. People have taken some profits on the way down, and now they're trying to buy back in. Yeah, now they're trying to buy back in. And also what I'm seeing is that some people are also trying to sell, and the price is struggling to get back down. It's struggling. Yeah, it's not, if you consider the volume, it hasn't really dropped. Yeah, so you can, there's a lot of buying and selling at 6 cents, and as long as the price is able to find support here, I think that's actually, that would be a really bullish for the point of control to move up. Because if we do find support here and hold support at 6 cents, I think in the future it'd be very difficult for the price to fall back underneath 6 cents, because you have a massive volume, higher time frame volume level at 6 cents. Now this idea is only on Bybit. On the other exchanges, it's still lower down at 3 cents. So right now there's a lot of buying and selling happening on Bybit, and Bybit is leading the market, leading the TRVL in terms of the price. If you look at the price action now, we've almost given back all of last week's gains. Okay, and that's basically Bitcoin. Bitcoin has done that. We're back into the weekly level. There's a weekly level here that the week hasn't finished yet. We have to see if that weekly level holds. We just have to wait. We just have to see how this candle ends at the end of the week. Yeah, no one knows what's going to happen. If you look at this overall higher range here, and if I was just to do a volume pool on this higher range, this overall range, you can see we're back into the value area low. We went to the value area high. Effectively, what's happening is we're just kind of range bound. Yeah, that's effectively what's happening. You could argue that this whole thing is a flat correction. You could argue it is. But the problem with that idea is that you have impulses in this flat correction. So maybe this is a higher time frame flat correction. Maybe on the weekly time frame we're having some kind of higher time frame flat correction. I don't know. Okay, but because we're range bound, I'm not bearish because we're just at the bottom of the range. That's all that's happened. We've had a lot of selling. We're just back at the bottom of the range. The point of control is in the lower range. We've come back to the value area low. We're testing the lows. If the lows hold, guess what? The price will go right back up to the top of the range. That's really what's happening right now. And if there was going to be some kind of breakdown, we still have some very important levels to test. We've got the daily level here to test, okay? And as the price, as you look at the price action all the way down to down to here, you can see there's lots of liquidity levels that have never been tested. Yeah. So worst case scenario, I'm thinking to myself, worst case scenario, we do go down because of Bitcoin, and then the price just gets snapped back up. That's what I'm thinking. It'd be very weird for that to happen, but I wouldn't be expecting the price to stay low for a long period of time. It would be a lower low. You know, if that was to happen, then the only way to fix that would be to rally all the way up and make a higher high. That'd be the only way to fix that. A crazy rally, like a V shape, followed by a crazy rally to take out the high. And then even though you've put in a lower low there, you're following it with a higher high. And effectively, it's still bullish. Yeah, that's the only way to fix that. If you were to just suddenly drop and put a lower low here, then you rally up and make a higher high, and you're kind of like, the idea then becomes some kind of megaphone idea. That's what a megaphone is. It's extremely bullish if it was to happen. Yeah, and then you'd probably get a continuation. You'd probably get a breakout for continuation. If that was to happen, that'd be really bullish. I'm not saying it is going to happen. I'm just saying that's the only way to fix a lower low here on the daily time frame. Otherwise, I don't really want to see the price lower down. If we do end up falling, I'd want to see a quick return back into the range. And then we just have to see what happens. Like, no one can really predict the future. Everything has to do with Bitcoin at the moment. But I do think that there's a lot of demand for TRVL. I think there's a lot of people who have listened to me and they've got capital on the sidelines looking to defend the lows. And a lot of people are bullish on this project. So I think this is a good, you're still getting it quite cheap. Like, when I look at this whole multi-year price action, you're only getting it at 3x above the all-time low. From the all-time low to now, it's basically taken almost half a year for the price to get up. It's not even 3x, it's 2x. Yeah, for the price to get to where we are now from the all-time low, it's only 2x. Why is it 2x? 200%, that's weird. Oh, this is weird. It's 3x because it's from 20 cents, 2 cents to 6 cents. I don't know why that's wrong. For some reason that's wrong. It's 3x. And for an AI deepin project with a real world use case, with a proven peer-to-peer model, I think this is bargain. I really do. I really think this is like the buy of the century, the buy of the millennium, honestly. I think you guys are getting the most amazing deal with this. Not financial advice. Shabudin, yeah, lower price from here just means more TL. I agree. So when it comes to the staking, oh, VF Gaming 100% is 2x. Okay, fuck. So you're right. So that's a 3x. I always thought it was 2. Oh, you're probably right. My bad. So basically, when I was speaking to Cynthia, they're working extremely hard to hire new people on the community development side, and which is onboarding for bringing on new properties. I don't know if you're aware, but the app is live. Okay, this is the app. It hasn't been launched. Like there hasn't been an official launch because this is version 0. They're fixing bugs because it's the first version, and it's no longer called Sensei, as you can see. It's called AI Search, coming soon. It says AI Search. That they're using some kind of protocol which is going to connect to the standard protocols out there with some major AI cryptos, and that's where the partnership is going to be in the future. And then we'll be on their marketplaces and we'll be promoted by them. Okay, this is all working. It's just right now this is version 0, so that's why they haven't launched it. So you can just, as you can see, if you type in London, it's like 5 Londons. This is going to be fixed. It's just version 0, yeah. And so they just wanted to get it up. So there's a lot of people looking to see what was happening, and so at the moment you can see no results. That's the other thing. So they have a lot of properties coming on board that haven't come on board yet because of their connection with Boostly. So that should be happening within the next couple of weeks, I think, or week. Okay, so there's a lot of things happening, and this is just version 0. So at the moment, if I put in dates, it's not working because there's no dates, obviously, and that's the problem. So there's a few bugs. Okay, so actually, yeah, that was the wrong Greater London. That's what they're in the process of fixing. And the problem with that is because they have data coming from multiple data sets, and there's the correlation between locations are different because of the way they're presented in the databases that they're pulling the data from. But here you can see in London it does work, and then you can go and it takes you to their direct booking site. So that's the great thing about this search engine. It's connecting you with someone else's direct booking site. This person could be on Airbnb. They are, you see that? So you can actually look at their profile on Airbnb and have a look at their property on Airbnb as well. And so what this person has done is they've listed their property on Airbnb, maybe on booking.com as well. And eventually in the future, what will happen is that properties will be on multiple online travel agencies, Airbnb, Booking, Vrbo, and Dtravel. And the savvy travelers will be looking on Airbnb, they'll be looking on Booking, but they'll know about Dtravel and they'll search for the same property on Dtravel and book directly. Okay, and then it'll be insured by, it's all insured by Superhog, which has a more comprehensive insurance package than Airbnb, liability, property damage, and any kind of other kind of misbehavior. So that's great. So right now it is working. You can see it's working. And what's great is that it gives people the ability, it brings all of the direct bookings in one place. Yeah, so these are all direct bookings. If I book now, it's direct. Yeah. This doesn't have an Airbnb profile, and you can have a look for yourself. Yeah. Then you can have a look at the rest of their properties. This is just London. And the other good thing about this is that when the properties are booked, the transactions are all put onto the blockchain using the Polygon network, using Matic. And so all of the transactions, the reservations are put onto the blockchain. And that's where the Night protocol will become something interesting in the future, because all of a sudden you're going to have this open database of reservations on chain. And then as more and more OTAs and channel managers and people get interested in using Dtravel, then they'll be using TRVL to access that data. So this is really the beginning of what could be something really big in the future, when travel starts to transition to Web3, to the blockchain. Yeah, so this is really the beginning. And it's working. It is working. I've proven that it works with my own bookings. I gotta find my property here. Anyway, never mind. So let's go back to the charts quickly. Sorry, let me have a read. So Shabudan, with staking now, can I opt out mid-stake? After the time period of staking as well, can I instantly claim back my TRVL, or is there a period of time I have to wait to take it out? Hassan, hi. BTC update. I'm going to do that now. FE for life. It's influencers using their followers as exit liquidity. That's true. See, I'm not using you guys as exit liquidity. I'm buying. I'm not selling TRVL. I'll tell you when I'm selling. It'll be higher up, where that moon faces. I'm not going to suddenly sell either. I'll scale out. I'll scale out bits, but I'll tell you, I don't have a problem telling people, because by then the market will be so euphoric that no one is going to want to sell, and that's the time to do it. So with the staking, I have some ideas of what it could be, but I can't tell you what it's going to be until it becomes what it will become. Okay, so right now, if you were to have a look at, is it GitHub? This is the light paper that was released on the tokenomics. Let me just pull it up. Here it is. Have a look at this. Yeah, FE for life, I know. I'm just sorry. You see here it says TRVL token economics. So have a look at that. And one of these, this is a new light paper. This was released a couple of just under 2 months ago. And what they've done is they're remaking the whole model. They're redesigning the whole thing from the beginning to now, from the ground up. And this will be the model. This is what they're building right now. Okay, so it's not going to be. So we know that in other applications, what you have is like a staking pool, right? And Dtravel had that. They had a really ordinary staking pool. You would stake your TRVL, you'd get an APR. It was locked for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, or 2 years. You could select, and there'd be a fixed APR, and it'll be locked up. And then after that period of time, you could claim your tokens, and you'd have your APR, and that was it. It was really, really simple. This is a little bit more interesting, because what is being developed is an economy, yeah, and this is being built right now, and they're really working hard to try and build this as quickly as possible. And so you're going to have the ability to stake to earn, and then also you're going to be able to increase your rewards by staking, and it's all going to be connected to the Dtravel application, right? You're going to have a stake to boost vault. It's not going to be like stake, here's your APR. It's going to be much more complicated and a lot more interesting than just boring staking. And what actually is going to be built is an economy. Also, the application, you can see there's going to be burning, and also there's going to be buyback. You see that? Buyback. So right now we're seeing buybacks. So what happens now is that everyone who books a property on Dtravel, that fund, that 3%, is being used to buy back TRVL from the open market. Yeah? So as the network is growing, the value of TRVL will grow. And so right now we're really at the beginning of what could explode, especially in the future when you imagine Dtravel starting to take a little bit of market share from Airbnb. All of that value is going to go into TRVL. Yeah, this is a new idea, and this is being built right now, and they're just working really hard to start creating aspects of the staking, which is going to tie into this model that they've proposed. No, you can't stake right now. They had a staking pool, and that was full. That filled. That was last year. See, this was the last year's staking pool, and it filled quite quickly. Yeah. So this was just a boring, ordinary staking pool. 30 days, you can earn 10%. 24 months, APR was 75. Very boring, very ordinary, and it had a very fixed supply, fixed cap. It was on Binance chain and on Ethereum, so they both filled quite quickly. I think Ethereum filled, Binance filled first. That filled last summer. By the beginning of last summer, this was full. But what's happening now is something completely different, and this is what's being built now. And in the future, what will happen, I think, is that you'll be able to stake, and I think there'll be a lockout period of maybe a couple of months, a month, 3 months. I don't know exactly how long. I think you'll be able to retrieve your staked amount, and then you'll have to pay a penalty. So if you decide that you want to withdraw it early, you have to pay like a percentage fee. Okay, I think that's what's going to be. So there won't be like a permanent lockout period. You could always take it out, but then if you take it before a certain time, there'll be some kind of penalty. There'll be some kind of percentage fee. I think that's what's going to happen. I'm not 100%, but I'm just after the conversations I've been having with them, that could be what it looks like. So we're going to have to be patient, unfortunately. Everything what you're seeing now in TRVL is speculative for the future of what's being built. But it doesn't take into, you have to bear in mind that this is now live and it hasn't been launched yet because they're still fixing some bugs and stuff. And then we're going to have this whole what is it? Then obviously then you're going to have the AI integration. Oh, I've lost it. This AI integration, see the staking, you see that coming soon. And then you'll probably have traveler side staking, and then you're going to have host side staking too. So you'll probably have hosts will be able to stake to increase the revenue that they get from the TRVL return, and then travelers will probably be able to stake as well to get some kind of bonuses. We have to just be patient. I don't really know, honestly. I know what's coming in terms of the skeleton, but I don't really know the details. I do know that there's a lot coming. Okay, in the next 3 to 6 months, there's a lot coming. Hopefully by alt season, by the peak of the alt season, we'll have a really strong, completely finished product integrated into Dtravel with the AI search engine working. That's kind of what you want. What you want is when you have retail get interested in crypto, you want all of this to be finished. Okay, because when that's finished, this is what retail are going to be looking at. They're going to be going, they're going to do their research. You're going to say, what's TRVL? And they'll quickly come and they'll say, oh my God, these guys are actually going to taking on Airbnb. That's when they're going to start pushing the price up, because it's going to be very tangible for people. And by then, hopefully, we're going to have thousands and thousands of properties, and people are going to be booking the properties as well with their crypto gains that they made through the bull market. FE for life. Look up Ultra Capital